Hello, this is another in a series of plotting exercises using qtVlm, and we have links to explain the index to those articles and why we're doing it. It's for our Inland and Coastal Navigation course, and we're going to work problems from our sample problems from our workbook. And in this case, we would do here a running fix, plotting a running fix. That's number 6-3 in the workbook. And so we have a vessel somewhere heading north along Rocky Point. Here's Rocky Point. An earlier video shows how you can find any place on the chart just with Command F, type Rocky Point, and it'll take you straight there. And then so this boat is headed 332 magnetic that way. So we have to check. Let me just check that now. We want to be sure that I'm going to just use the ruler tool and go straight north here. We're at fixed 20 degrees, so this should be 340, and it is 340, so we're good on that. The magnetic is set up right. So we're 332 M, and then the sights are taking two different sights to this buoy right here. Now, again, let me just note that normally when you're underway, you would prefer to take bearing fixes or any kind of fixing, piloting, relative to beacons or lights that are fixed, planted to the earth, rather than buoys that can float and move around. But with that, we explain that caution and principle in the workbook and in the textbook. But just to make more possible exercises, we do use buoys for some piloting in the course. And so in this particular case, it uses this buoy here. Now, and so it takes off, and it's using logs, so we don't do speed, time, and distance. We have log readings, and when the log reads 552.4, there's a bearing here that is 297 M. Then the vessel carries on this course here until the log is 556.4. It looks like exactly 4 miles later, and it takes another bearing to the same buoy, 262 M. And so the question is, with those two pieces of information, where are we located? And in a sense, this would be done in a sense. You could think of this as really bearings to this light, because in the fog, this is something you might do in the fog where you have just one object to use and so forth. But anyway, it's a plotting exercise for now, and we're using this buoy, and we're starting here. So the first thing we would do is use a pathway. So we're going to create a pathway, and we'll just call this pathway, it doesn't matter what we call these, but let's just call this 552.4. That's the log reading. And then the only thing we really have to do here is change this to be from the first mark, and then say append that. And then we go in here. Oops, I hit that mark. Let me move that mark right over to the buoy right here, and then make a second mark. And then that's really all we need to do. We need to just get that out on there like that. And then we just move this till that is bearing 297 M. Let me go up here. And we're starting somewhere around here. So let's just run this thing out here. And it's, okay. So look, it's pointing this way because I started here and drew it here. So I'm going to right-click this, edit the pathway, and reverse the order like that. Now we're reading the bearings going that way, which is what you would see from the boat. And now what do we want that? 297. 297. That's right about 297. Well, I'm obviously not on the land, but I'm somewhere. Let's see. Let me put the cursor on here. What do I get? 297. So that means that when that log read 552.4, the boat was somewhere on this line. But I don't know if it was here, or it could be up here, and so forth. Then later, let's do another pathway. Create a pathway. This one. The names don't matter. I mean, I could put anything up there, but for now I'm just going to put 556.4, and then from the first mark and append POIs, then I'm going to click this one, and then one more out here, and then escape. So now I got, oh, and then let's go, we know what we got to do. We go edit, reverse the thing, reverse, okay, edit. Okay, good. Now this one was bearing 262. So that's, let me just go here, 53, 60, 61, 62. All right, so there's the 262. So what do we know? This is what we know in the navigation. When the log read that first log reading, we were somewhere on this line. When the log read the second one, we were somewhere on this line. And we know that we sailed in direction 332M, which is something like that, and we sailed 4 miles. So we sailed 4 miles in that direction and got on that line. And as soon as we find the one place where that happens, then that's our running fix, right? So we could just guess anywhere at all. Let's just guess, for example, we started here. Okay, so we get another pathway, create a pathway, and the name doesn't here, like I say, the name doesn't really matter. I'm going to start from the first mark and append a pathway, and I'm going to start, say, here, and or here. You know, it doesn't matter. Now, I could say I would started out right here. I could do that. Let me just say I started out here. Okay, so there's the first one. I'll just be a little bit off the line, and then come up here and then say escape. Now, what I'm going to do is just zoom in there and put this guy right on the line. It doesn't matter where on the line, right? Doesn't matter where, but just somewhere on that line. And then, but this matters. This has to be 4 miles. Oh, 4 miles. Oh, that's pretty, 4 miles in direction 332. 332M. Okay. 4 miles. I'm just dragging this as carefully as I can. Okay, 332, 4.1. There. So that line now is 332, 4.0. Okay, so what do we know? We weren't here, right? We weren't here because after we drove our 4 miles in this direction, we ended up here, where we got to end up on the line. So let's just do it again up here somewhere. Let's do another pathway. There's different ways to do this plotting, right? It doesn't matter. Start from the first mark, append POI. Now I have to do the same thing. I'm going to put a did I make it? Oh, okay. Let me go and edit. Pathway, edit pathway. What did I call the second one? That one. Okay, append, start from the first mark, append POIs. Okay, and then just start somewhere there and come up somewhere. Well, we know it's about going to be something like that. And say escape, right? So now, again, same routine. I put this on here. I just want to be right on the line to be careful as I can. But now the job here is, I'm going to go 4 miles in direction 332M. 332. Whoa. Well, I'm fussing around here now. 332. You can't necessarily, depends on how good you are with your mouse. But anyway, that's about 332 and 4 miles. Okay, and so now all I need to do now is draw a line. Well, what I could do here is I just need to draw a line between these two, right? To find out where is the right spot. So one way to do that is I could go up here and just say append, and I'll just put a new line. I'll put a new line on there, escape, and put it right here. So you see that now what I've done here, look what I've done. I have this one, I went that number of miles, and then basically I'm using parallel rulers, and I'm taking this line up to here. This line is going to this line. And so this is the one point right here where if I go back, this somewhere down here, I go 4 miles, I end up right here. So that's their fixed position right there. And one way to get the lat long is just put a new mark. The name doesn't matter at all. And just bring that over here. And then that is That's the answer for the running fix, latitude and longitude. But I think this problem doesn't ask for latitude and longitude. It asks for how far are you from buoy 2? From buoy 2. That's here. Okay, so I could do the ruler tool here and then just go back to buoy 2 and right to the middle of buoy 2 is right there. It's actually 4 miles. 4.0. What's the answer? 4.0 and so forth. Okay, so that's a way to do a running fix. There's different ways you can imagine different ways to do it, but the idea is you have one LOP, you know you're on there, one LOP, you know you're on there, and then you just have to move this one without rotating it in the direction, in the distance and direction you actually moved, and where they intersect. This is an advanced LOP. Where this intersects is your position, is your running fix position. And I'll stop there.